Chapter 3. The Art and Archeology of Precious Metals. 1. Caelatura, the masterpieces of antique gold plate. In the ancient world, gold meant more than money. It reached its peak in the hands of the caelator, the gold chaser. Caelatura was the classical art of engraving and embossing precious metals. It was considered the highest form of decorative art, sometimes surpassing even sculpture. To the Greeks and Romans, a gold vessel wasn't just luxury, it was a canvas for storytelling. Mastersmiths used gold's supreme malleability to create touretic works, objects formed by hammering metal sheets from behind. This technique is called repoussé. Then they finished the intricate details from the front using fine chisels. The technical mastery was profound. Pliny the Elder records that certain gold cups were hammered so thin they felt light as a feather, yet sturdy enough to hold heavy wines. These masterpieces were adorned with scenes from mythology, the triumphs of Bacchus, the labors of Hercules. The art required physical strength to manipulate the metal, but also the delicate touch of a jeweler. Masters like Mentor and Phidias were as famous for their work in precious metals as for their monumental statues. In antiquity, the so-called minor arts of goldworking were central to elite culture. Archaeological discoveries provide a tangible link to this lost world: the Hildesheim treasure, the gold finds from Pompeii. These artifacts reveal sophisticated techniques: soldering with gold alloys of lower melting points, the application of niello, a black metallic compound, to create striking contrasts against the radiant yellow surface. The density of ornamentation is remarkable: acanthus leaves, floral scrolls, lifelike portraits. Gold was valued as much for its ability to capture shadow and light as for its weight. The possession of gold plate served a critical social and political function. In the Roman Republic, the amount displayed at a banquet measured a senator's dignitas, his standing. During the Empire, the imperial table was a sea of shimmering gold designed to overawe foreign ambassadors, to reinforce the idea of an inexhaustible treasury. But this artistic abundance also made gold plate a primary target during war. Countless masterpieces were melted down into common coins to pay for besieged armies. The surviving examples we study today are but a tiny fraction of the immense artistic wealth of the ancient world. The legacy of these ancient goldsmiths is found in the honesty of their craft. They understood that gold, because of its homogeneity and eternal luster, was the only medium capable of preserving the finest details of human creativity against the ravages of time. Chapter 3. The Art and Archaeology of Precious Metals. 2. Ancient jewelry, decorative techniques, and personal adornment. The history of ancient jewelry is a testament to human ingenuity. The most sophisticated metallurgical techniques were born from the desire for personal distinction. While gold plate represented the wealth of the household, jewelry represented the status of the individual. Ancient goldsmiths mastered techniques that even modern jewelers find difficult to replicate. The most remarkable was granulation, the process of soldering thousands of microscopic gold spheres onto a gold surface, some no larger than a grain of sand. This created intricate patterns. It was achieved using a colloidal solder method. A copper-based mineral fused the granules to the base at a temperature just below gold's melting point. The bond was so seamless it appeared organic. Another pinnacle of ancient adornment was filigree, the art of twisting extremely fine gold wires into lace-like patterns. Because of gold's superior ductility, craftsmen could pull the metal into threads thinner than a human hair. These threads were braided, coiled, and soldered onto diadems, earrings, necklaces. The complexity served a dual purpose. It displayed immense wealth, but it also functioned as portable capital. In times of crisis, a heavily ornamented gold belt or solid gold bracelets could be weighed and traded just as easily as currency. Personal adornment also reflected the symbolic and religious life of the wearer. Jewelry was often apotropaic, designed to ward off evil. Earrings shaped like victories, pendants featuring the head of Medusa, rings engraved with deities. The Romans favored intaglios, precious stones engraved with figures and set into massive gold rings. These served as personal seals, allowing the wearer to sign documents by pressing the ring into hot wax, linking their personal identity to the incorruptibility of gold. The transition from bold, solid forms of the early Republic to the extravagant gem-encrusted jewelry of the later Empire highlights a shift in the availability of the metal. As Roman trade with the East expanded, gold was increasingly paired with emeralds from Egypt, sapphires from Sri Lanka, pearls from the Persian Gulf. This polychromatic style transformed jewelry from a purely metallic art into a symphony of color. Yet gold remained the essential skeleton that held the composition together. These pieces are archaeologically invaluable. They provide a timeline of trade routes and technological exchanges that defined the ancient world's luxury economy. 3. Sacred symbols. Gold in sacred rites and temples. In the ancient metaphysical landscape, gold was far more than a measure of value. It was the flesh of the gods. Its incorruptibility made it the only material worthy of housing the divine essence. From the ziggurats of Mesopotamia to the inner sanctums of Solomon's temple, gold created a terrestrial heaven, a space where the radiant light of the metal mirrored the eternal glory of the deities. This sacred utility created a specialized branch of archaeology focused on votive gold, objects dedicated to the gods that were never intended for human use or circulation. The most striking example is found in ancient Egypt. The pharaohs, believed to be living gods, were adorned with gold to ensure their immortality in the afterlife. The death mask of Tutankhamun is not merely a funerary ornament, it is a metallurgical statement of divinity. By encasing the deceased in gold, the Egyptians believed they were preserving the Ka, the soul, in a vessel that would never decay, rust, or tarnish. Similarly, the Ark of the Covenant was overlaid with pure gold both inside and out, not for aesthetic reasons, but to signify the absolute purity of the divine presence contained within. Gold was the only substance that remained holy and untainted by the passage of time. In the classical world, the great temples were essentially massive gold repositories. The Phryselophantine statues, monuments made of gold and ivory, like the statue of Athena Parthenos in the Parthenon, used gold for the deity's garments and armor. This gold was often removable, serving as a strategic national reserve. Yet while it remained on the statue, it was considered sacrosanct. The act of dedicating gold to a temple was a way to bank wealth with the gods, ensuring both divine favor and physical security. Few would dare risk the wrath of the heavens by plundering a sacred treasury. Ritual objects also demanded the use of gold to maintain ritual purity. Gold chalices, sacrificial knives, incense burners. The metal did not react with the substances it touched. In the mystery cults, and later in early Christian liturgy, the gold chalice became a symbol of the Sun of Righteousness. The visual impact of gold during a religious ceremony was profound. The way it caught the flickering light of oil lamps and candles was designed to induce a state of awe in the worshipper. The flickering yellow light was seen as the physical breath of the divine, a shimmering proof that the gods were present among men. The history of gold in religious rites is a history of the metal's symbolic power. While the economy treated gold as a tool for trade, the temple treated it as a bridge to the eternal. This dual nature, as both the most worldly and the most heavenly of substances, allowed it to maintain its grip on the human psyche for thousands of years. Even as religions changed and empires fell, the golden altar remained a constant feature of the human search for the divine. 4. The glyptic art, engraving gems and gold signets. Glyptic art refers to the ancient craft of engraving small precious stones, a discipline that found its most functional partner in gold. While a gold coin represented the state and a gold statue represented the divine, the gold signet ring represented the individual. In an age before widespread literacy and digital security, a gold ring set with an engraved gem served as a legal signature, a personal seal, a familial crest. The marriage between the hardness of the engraved gem and the eternal luster of the gold setting created an object that was both a masterpiece of miniature art and a vital legal instrument. The technical execution of these signets required staggering precision. Using a lathe powered by a bow and tiny copper drills charged with emery powder, ancient engravers cut intricate portraits into stones, mythological scenes, complex monograms, into carnelian, jasper, and sardonyx. These stones were then set into massive gold bands. The gold was not merely a frame, it was often fashioned using repoussé and chasing techniques, creating a unified work of art. To the Romans, the gold signet ring was a symbol of equestrian or senatorial rank. To the commoner, it was a cherished possession, carrying the image and likeness of a beloved ancestor or a protective deity. Beyond its role as a personal identifier, glyptic gold played a critical role in the administration of ancient law and commerce. A merchant would seal a crate of grain or a jar of wine by pressing his gold signet into wet clay or hot wax. This golden seal was a physical manifestation of trust. If the seal remained unbroken, the integrity of the goods was guaranteed. Archaeological excavations of ancient archives have revealed thousands of these clay bulli, bearing the impressions of gold rings that have long since been melted down. These impressions provide a silent record of vast networks of trade and sophisticated legal structures that gold made possible. The glyptic art allowed for the preservation of classical iconography in a way that larger monuments could not. Because of their small size and the durability of both gold and gemstones, signet rings were often buried with their owners or hidden during times of war, surviving where great statues were destroyed. They offer a miniature gallery of ancient life, showing everything from the hairstyles of Roman empresses to the specific armor of Greek hoplites. In the evolution of gold's history, the signet ring represents the democratization of the metal's power. It was the point where the majesty of gold met the daily requirements of human identity and law. 5. Enduring monuments. Gold artifacts as historical records. The most profound contribution of gold to the study of antiquity is its role as an unintentional archive. While the written records of ancient civilizations were often destroyed by fire, dampness, or war, and their great monuments reduced to rubble, gold remained. Because of its chemical immunity to the elements, gold artifacts serve as enduring monuments, providing an unfiltered look into the technological and social structures of lost worlds. Archaeological discoveries of gold are more than mere treasure finds. They are chronological anchors, allowing historians to trace the movements of peoples, the fluctuations of trade, the evolution of human craftsmanship over 6 millennia. Significant hoards have forced historians to repeatedly rewrite the timeline of human development. The Varna necropolis in Bulgaria, Priam's treasure of Troy. The Varna gold, dating back to 4500 BC, revealed that a sophisticated social hierarchy existed in Europe far earlier than previously believed. Advanced metallurgical knowledge thousands of years earlier. Similarly, the Scythian gold burials across the Eurasian steppes provide a vivid narrative of a nomadic culture that possessed no written language. The detailed reliefs on Scythian gold vessels show warriors in battle, the milking of mares, religious ceremonies. They serve as a golden book, documenting the daily life and myths of a people who would otherwise be known only through the biased accounts of their neighbors. Gold artifacts also act as a map of ancient global connectivity. The presence of specific gold alloys or artistic styles far from their point of origin reveals the immense reach of the ancient silk and gold roads. Roman gold coins in the Mekong Delta, Hellenistic gold jewelry in the tombs of Afghan kings. These artifacts prove that gold was the primary driver of exploration and cross-cultural exchange. By analyzing the fingerprint of the gold, its trace impurities and isotopic composition, modern archaeologists can pinpoint the exact mine from which the metal was extracted, allowing us to reconstruct the logistical networks of empires that vanished thousands of years ago.
Gold is the ultimate witness of history. Its permanence ensures that it does not merely survive the past, it carries the past into the present. Every gold ring, coin, or vessel is a fragment of a larger story, a testament to human ambition, devotion, ingenuity. While the value of gold may be measured in currency, its true worth lies in its ability to defy time and preserve the legacy of humanity for eternity.